Yeah, I have to make a little point real quick because I totally disagree with anything government, anything that's law enforcement, anything that's telling people that they control what you do and dictate you as long as you're not harming anybody. And at the same time, we don't need them there to learn how to not harm anybody. So no matter what, we don't need people to come discipline others. We need family structures to build from the bottom up, and somehow people that are in the middle of the problems they have now to see that they can be okay with whatever it is that's bothering them and they can get over it. So what I want to say is I was just in line behind a state trooper, and he was probably about 55 to 60, balding, gray hair around the U-shaped hair that's only there on the sides and the back because he's bald, short, pudgy, that kind of shape. He had his gun and his, stuff on and his mask and whatever. And I'm thinking, and I heard him I just overheard him talking to the guy. He's like, "Oh, my order's the one over there. I had to have it special ordered by the guy, the sub that, and he's just a normal everyday person like everybody else." Well, when he gets in his car, he forgets that, he's standing there in line. He's just a customer and he's buying a sub. As soon as he goes back in his car and he feels like he's a police officer again, he's willing to go bust any person for any violation of the laws that he's told to uphold. Well, the same guy, I see in him, I heard in his voice that he's just a person like me that doesn't have any idea the underhandedness that's behind the whole structure that he himself is even working for. But see, when someone like me can say this to you, that, you don't need to be the bully that tells people what they can and can't do, because that makes you the bad guy. And if you can't get that, you're really harming your own spiritual progress. Very much. And if you don't get that, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Police officer, military, you guys are harming your spiritual progression. Unless you're just okay with killing people. Or following the wrong rules and lying to everybody and doing things that make no moral sense. They don't make any moral sense. You cannot say that I have the say-so and I'm going to do what is best for everybody because I'm the one who knows everything. Especially when you do stuff like eat meat, sit around, watch violence, partake in things that aren't good for you and others, and you do it on purpose. Every police officer does it. There's not one person in the world that isn't doing something stupid that they shouldn't be doing. But once you hear the truth, it's on you to be brave enough to make the change. So when a police officer hears what I'm saying, that should make them brave enough to challenge the government. Instead, they can't, because they would have to get their whole force behind them, because their whole force would think they were crazy, because no one listens enough to hear the truth. And when they hear it, they're too afraid to make a change, because all they'll say is, "It's always been like that, and we have to stay that way because it's too scary to change." They wouldn't say that, but that's the truth. The truth is, we need to, or we will always be in a life of slavery. Always. And I won't do it. So if other people think that's crazy, I think they're all crazy for thinking that it makes sense to wake up in the morning and go do a job for somebody else that isn't what you want with your life for way longer than you should. Even a day of doing something you don't want to do is stupid, unless it's helping you progress in a moral way. That's it. So even though there was a police officer in front of me, I do see him as a human being. And I love any living being for that reason, because they're here and they've been given the chance to survive and express something. But when they don't have a clue what they're doing in life and they're just too busy with their ego, it harms my mentality, it harms my heart, it just destroys me sometimes. But that's all I'm going to say for now. Peace.